and welcome to another edition of the Okobi series. That's the One Kindred, One Business initiative. My name is Kenneth Amechi. I'm a professor of business and sustainable development at the University of Edinburgh, UK. I also hold a chair in sustainable finance at the European University Institute in Florence. I also work as a chief economic advisor to the Imo State government. It's my pleasure to welcome today's panelists. And the topic we want to explore today is how communities and associations can create opportunities out of the One Kindred, One Business initiative. But before we start, I would like to play you a short clip, an overview of what the Okobi is, One Kindred, One Business initiative, for those who may be new to it.
Susie, nne m ahụ gị bụ sọ mma. Ọ dị ka ị nwetala ọrụ n'oil company.
Yosi nwanne m, mgbado udo dị o. O nweghịkwa ọrụ oil company m nwetara. Ihe ị hụrụ m na-amụke wụkwa aka ọrụ Okobi.
Ele nke wụkwa Okobi. Biko tupu inye m azụ, ahụchiele m anya. Ahụ m chọrọ enyemaka.
Ya bụ na ịnụbeghị maka Okobi. Ngwa gee ntị. Okobi bụ atụmatụ ọma gọọmenti hiwere iji kpochapụ ụbịam na-akpụ ndị mmadụ isi aghara aghara. Okobi ga-ekewapụta ohere ọrụ maka gị o, maka ọha obodo gị niile. Naanị legharịa anya gburugburu gị. Chepụta nnọọ ihe ọbụla gị na ụmụnne na ụmụnna gị, ndị enyi ma ọ bụ ndị obodo gị nwere ike ịgbakọta aka mepụta ya mma, dịka ịzụ ọkụkọ, azụ, oke bekee, ịkọ painiapụl, ịsụ mmanụ nkwụ ma ọ bụ mmanụ aṅụ na ọtụtụ ihe ndị ọzọ dị iche iche. Unu hazicha usoro eji eme ya ka ọ bụrụ ihe ga-amịpụta ego. Unu agbapụzie ya ọsọ gaa kpọtụrụ onye ji ọkwa Chief Economic Advisor n'ọchịchị steeti Imo. Ọ ga-agbazi unu olu nye unu ntụziaka, hazie ụkpụrụ a ga-eji mee ya ka ọ kwụsị ike ma meta ezi mkpụrụ. Ọ ga-enyekwa aka n'ikewapụta ohere ọrụ nye ndị na-achọ ọrụ n'obodo.
Biko nye m akara ekwentị ha ka m kpọọ ahụ ozugbo.
Ngwa were ihe dedata ya 07013512035 07013512035 ma ọ bụ 09114360076 09114360076. Ịkpọrọ ha ị ga-enweta ọsịsa maka ihe niile gbasara Okobi. Okobi wa atụmatụ bụ ịgba Shared Prosperity Government nke Distinguished Senator Hope Uzodimma.
Okobi, ụmụnna wike, ọwụ ha agha.
Okay, great. So let me invite Mr. Clement Nwachukwu, one of our panelists, to introduce himself and say hello to our audience.
Hello, my name is Clement Nwachukwu. I am the president, A92 Multipurpose Farmers Cooperative. I am resident in Europe. So, and our cooperative is a cooperative formed by classmates, old-time classmates and young and the childhood friends. So we came up to put up this cooperative, not just for our business interests, but also to help to create jobs for our family members, our friends and relatives, and most important for Imolites, for us to also contribute in the creation of or in the building up of the state economy. So that's what exactly the motive or the aim of our cooperative.
Okay, great. How many Kunon in that class? I mean, this is a class of, which school is that, if you don't mind me asking?
Well, A92, it's the 1992 graduates from St. Peter Clever Seminary of Ireland.
Okay, so they is your father, so to speak, right?
Well, not just that, because in our cooperatives, the father nowhere.
Okay, so that's Opala Seminary 1992 class, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
How many were you in that class? Or how many are still there now?
Well, the cooperative is operated by not just the entire class, but just a few of us that have a common interest. more especially on agriculture. It's a cooperative of like minds. We
Okay.
came up to.
Great. Why I ask is that because there are also many other alumni associations. So instead of all of them waiting to agree to run a business, what you're suggesting that a few of you can also come together to create businesses of this nature, right?
Yes, because we came to understand that it's always difficult for you to get everybody on board. So the best way to do it is to get a few like minds. Then you come up and initiate the process, and also put up the regulations and all that. Then later on, other people will start joining.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Okay, so how many of you started this business from that class? Yeah.
Yes, we were 13 in number when we started.
Okay.
Yes,
Okay.
but of recent, there are others who have declared their interest also to start joining. Then we tell them our some of the goals and the regulations that we have been, policies that we've already been put up for them to meet up to join.
Okay. And what is the name of the cooperative?
The cooperative is A92 Multipurpose Farmers Cooperative Society.
Okay. So what sort of things are you guys into?
We are into agro-related businesses.
Okay, agro-related businesses in this case. So, just an example for they don't know a lot. Just appreciate what you are talking about.
We have a poultry farm at Abazo, in the Kedru local government. We also have an affiliate poultry farm to Zabwa. Then we have the fishery at Nekede. And also there we have our rabbitry. Then we have also fishery at Ihiagwa. Then we have pineapple plantations in Awara, on Hajebu with the local government, and also in Umuekune in Ngobara local government.
Okay. So how did you raise the money? Because sometimes people complain and say, well, you want us to start business, but we need money from a bank or something. So how were you able to raise the money to do this?
Yes, we know that, getting money from the bank or any other financial institutions, first of all, there are criteria. First, the financial or the lenders wants to know your ability to manage the finance, that might be given to you. And also they want to see your records, what you've done in the past. So on this point, we didn't wait to get money from the government or from the financial institutions. We task ourselves. We began by saying, now everybody, boots on the field. We roll our sleeves and we task ourselves, and it's a sort of investment. So, and we needed to start from the pilot and grow it. Then when it now comes to the point that we need the financial assistance from organizations, we request, knowing that we at that point. But all these businesses are businesses that one can start with little,
Yeah, because sometimes people now say, okay, you started poultry, fishery, pineapple plantation, right? So how much would it cost? I mean, on the average, not necessarily. I mean, how much do you need to start some of these businesses?
Some of these businesses are businesses you can start with $500,000 naira, 500,000. There are some that you can. I'm talking at the average.
Mm-hmm.
But like the rabbitry is something that one can start from his backyard with with a sum of 20,000 or 50,000 naira.
Okay.
What at that point, what it needs, in all these business, what it needs is dedication and passion.
Okay, and it appears that most of you are abroad. Is that true? Most of your members, they started this business. Are they in the country or are they all abroad?
Yes, most of us are in diaspora in Europe, America, and Asia.
Okay. So I think the beauty of it is that it's also speaking to our brothers and sisters in diaspora to say, well, there are ways you can support people at home. I guess being in diaspora from time to time, you receive those odd phone calls, people asking you for this and that. And probably setting up a business could be one way to teach our people how to fish as opposed to giving them fish, isn't it?
Yes, because, from our past experiences, we discovered that, giving always, you cannot satisfy everybody. And at the point of, the families are also expanding. So you talk of your direct siblings, then at a point you begin to talk about the families of your siblings and the members of the extended family. So we cannot afford to, and most of us also here in diaspora, we also have our own personal responsibilities, family, and all that. So the best way we thought about is, giving the people at home these opportunities. And also one of the challenges we encountered in the past that made us to come up together to form a cooperative is also when you deal with your direct family members, there's always you might always come up with the problem of mismanagement and all that. So we came up together, those of us that have had some of these ugly experiences, we came up together and got this cooperative. So whatever thing I'm doing, I do it in partnership with the cooperative. So the cooperative becomes an instrument of control. So now you, as my friend or my family member at home, you know that whatever thing that is being done is, the cooperative can hire and also sack. So it's no longer, that's from the point of view of our cooperative and how people in diaspora can also come into this.
Okay, great. So Onye Chiri Chuno now, where can people find this? Some old boys associations or old girls associations might also be listening and want to learn from you. Where and how can they find you or reach out to you?
Well, we have an email. Our email is a92cope@gmail.com. a92cope@gmail.com. Cope is COOP at gmail.com.
Okay.
Or
great.
you can contact our member in Nigeria with the number 080-309-63641.
Okay. Can you say that again?
080-3096-3641.
Okay.
It's Reverend Father Colin Samade.
Okay. Okay, great. So it's a good transition also from you to a priest. So we have a priest on the call, Father Paulinus. Father Pius. Father, please, do you want to introduce yourself and say hello to our audience?
Okay. Yes, I'm Father Pius Ibaochi Anyang from the Catholic Diocese of Ahara. And by the grace of God, I'm the director of Matter Farm Project and Agri Youth Empowerment in the Catholic Diocese of Ahara.
Okay, Father. So thank you for joining. What exactly does this farm do? I mean, do you want to tell us more about your enterprise?
Yes, Matter Farm Projects actually is a brainchild of our pioneer bishop, late Bishop V.A. Chikwe of Cherished Memories. Years back, he decided to bring about this farm in order to help the people of Mbise have access to food and to solve the problem of food insecurity both here in Mbise and beyond. In fact, this really featured in one of the pastoral letters he wrote. That was in 2002, which he titled "Give Them Something to Eat." So at Matter Farm, basically we are into the production of food for people. It's an integrated farm which cuts across the production, crop production, and animal production. In the area of crop production, we are into market garden, which cuts across the production of pepper, tomatoes, watermelon, cucumber, okra, and other veggies. Then we're also into agroforestry. We have plantations, both palm plantation, plantain, banana plantations. Then we have a wide area of land where we also plant cassava. Then the area of animal production, we're into fishery. Then there is another side of the farm which we're also into, the training and empowerment of women and anyone who is interested in agriculture. Have a department that trains people in any area of agriculture. At the moment, we empower them with knowledge, hoping to go on the material level when what is needed comes around us. I think that's just an overview of what we do in the farm at the moment.
So where is this farm, if you don't mind me asking?
Yes, the farm is located at Eberede and Eziala Nguru in Abombise local government area of Imo State.
Okay, so is it located in a place or is it scattered across the diocese?
The place I just mentioned is where the main base is, where we have a demo farm, where we train people, and then where we have demonstration farms. But all over, we have lands everywhere. It is really scattered, where we go out for other plantations and then other crops.
Okay, but how does the church make money from this?
Actually, the church doesn't make much money from this because, in fact, it is more or less, I wouldn't say, but we are into the production of all these crops and then plants. So what we'll do is when we sell these agri products or agri produce, when we sell them, the church really makes a little amount of money from them because we don't really sell just like people sell out there. Because the sole aim is to make sure that people find something to eat, following what our pioneer bishop had in mind when establishing the farm.
Yeah, but how then do you sustain yourself? Because if you are not making money, then something is paying for it, right? If you're not making that amount of profit. So how are you able to sustain the farm?
Actually, we sustain the farm by what we do, even though it's not the gangs, they are not so much. What we produce, we sell, and then we use it to sustain the farm. And then the other things that we do, planting for people, we nurse all these things that we plant, both the palms, both the plantains and other economic trees. We nurse them, we sell with a little gain. Then we also go out to plant for people. When we go out to plant for people, of course, they really pay us. And the money is in turn invested in the other areas of the farm.
Okay, so what you're saying in essence is that you're more like a social enterprise. So whatever you make, you reinvest in the business. So that way the business is sustainable, in quote, right?
Yes.
So at least you cover your costs. So as a church, you're not into profit making, but you cover your cost and whatever little extra you make, you reinvest in the business. Is that a way to say it?
Yes, that's what we do.
Okay, great. So I'm just wondering, given these nice ideas you have about it, why is it not possible? I'm just kind of thinking out of the box here, because that's also an area we want to push. Why is it not possible for parishes to have farms or businesses? So I don't know how many parishes you have in Ahera Diocese today, Catholic parishes. Would it be out of place to expect these parishes also to be into business?
Actually, some parishes are buying the idea at the moment. In fact, I've taken myself as an agri priest, an agri evangelist. I've been going about preaching about it, and some parishes are buying the idea. Like this year alone, we've planted economic trees for not less than 20 parishes, and many more are queuing in for next year planting season. So some parishes are buying the idea at the moment, and they're really doing it. So that's what we'll go about preaching at the moment.
Okay, that's good to hear, because the Okobi thing idea, I mean, the one kindred, one business is not just limited to people who are family members, but it's also about association. So we had the case of an old boys association that created their own business. But there is also a space for parishes, in this case, Catholic parishes or Anglican parishes, to also create, because they are also very close to the people. So instead of tasking people every time, we can also give people, give them food, as you said, give them what to eat. So that mantra in itself can be reflected through different parishes. And it's not just only for parishes in Catholic Diocese of Ahera, but we can also look at the ecclesiastical province, which will include Olo Diocese, Okigwe Diocese, Owerri Diocese, of course. And we can even go further afield. So do you see, as a priest, do you see a role for the church in pushing this economic agenda?
Of course, the church is already doing that. The provincial archbishop has been speaking about it. Earlier this year, he also kicked the challenge of planting economic trees in all the parishes. And he has been speaking about it. Parishes trying to have an establishment. In fact, one of the establishments he's always having in his mouth is farm establishment. Even in the parish where I live as a resident priest. They have a fish pond here, and they have a garden, where we produce vegetables. We don't buy vegetables from the market. We use the ones we have here, and we also sell, then use the money for other things. We have been going about preaching about it, and I want to believe by next year, a lot of parishes will also queue in.
But this started in 2002, which is almost 21 years ago. So why you would think that by now many parishes would have adopted it, would have been booming and visible. So why is the uptake slow?
I think the same problem is what happens in the secular society. People do not take agriculture seriously. But at the moment now, they have come to know that no one can do without agriculture. And that is why people are not taking it serious, and the church is also taking it seriously. Even though for some time now, the farm I'm handling has been having challenges in terms of management, which we came in and we've tried to solve that problem.
Okay, so if somebody listening to you at the moment, it could be a priest or somebody who thinks they can benefit from your farm, how can they reach you?
Yeah, well, we are all over in the social media. We have a phone number, we have an email address. There in Facebook, we're there too. So it's really possible.
Okay, so do you mind giving out the numbers so that listeners can either call you or email you if they want to?
Okay, yes, possible. So our phone numbers are 090-311-30308, 090-311-30308. Or one can also call 080-298-88006, 080-298-88006. One can still get us in our email, matterfarm @yahoo.com. One can still get us in our Facebook. The Facebook page is Matter Farm. So once you click there, you'll be able to see us and what we do. All of them are there showcased.
Okay, brilliant. So we are also live on Facebook, as well as other social media handles. So if you have any questions, please do ask our guests, panelists, as we go through. So in the interim, if you are just joining us, this is the OCOBI series. That's the One Kindred, One Business Initiative series, brought to you by the Office of the Chief Economic Advisor to the Imo State Government, under the leadership of Senator Hope Uzodimma. And my name is Kenneth Amechi, the anchor. So this program is about showcasing the opportunities for businesses, for communities and associations, in terms of the business opportunities for communities and associations. So all we're trying to do is to encourage people to see what they can do for themselves, teaching them how to fish as opposed to giving them fish. So, but I play you our audio now to give you more flavor of what we're trying to do.
Susie, nne m ahụ gị bụ sọ mma. Ọ dị ka ị nwetala ọrụ n'oil company.
Yusi nwanne m, mgbado udo dị o. O nweghịkwa ọrụ oil company m nwetara. Ihe ị hụrụ m na-amụke wụkwa aka ọrụ OCOBI.
Ele nke wụkwa OCOBI. Biko tupu enye m azụ, ahụchiele m anya. Ahụ m chọrọ enyemaka.
Ya bụ na ịnụbeghị maka OCOBI. Ngwa gee ntị. OCOBI wụ atụmatụ ọma gọọmenti hiwere iji kpochapụ ụbịam na-akpụ ndị mmadụ isi aghara aghara. OCOBI ga-ekewapụta ohere ọrụ maka gị o, maka ọha obodo gị niile. Naanị legharịa anya gburugburu gị. Chepụta nnọọ ihe ọbụla gị na ụmụnne na ụmụnna gị, ndị enyi ma ọ bụ ndị obodo gị nwere ike ịgbakọta aka mepụta ya mma, dịka ịzụ ọkụkọ, azụ, oke bekee, ịkọ painiapụl, ịsụ mmanụ nkwụ ma ọ bụ mmanụ aṅụ na ọtụtụ ihe ndị ọzọ dị iche iche. Unu hazichi usoro eji eme ya ka ọ bụrụ ihe ga-amịpụta ego. Unu agbapụzie ya ọsọ gaa kpọtụrụ onye ji ọkwa Chief Economic Advisor n'ọchịchị steeti Imo. Ọ ga-agbazi unu olu nye unu ntụziaka, hazie ụkpụrụ a ga-eji mee ya ka ọ kwụsị ike ma mịta ezi mkpụrụ. Ọ ga-enyekwa aka n'ikewapụta ohere ọrụ nye ndị na-achọ ọrụ n'obodo.
Biko nye m akara ekwentị ha ka m kpọọ ahụ ozugbo.
Ngwa were ihe dedata ya 0701-351-2035 0701-351-2035 maọbụ 0911-436-0076 0911-436-0076. Ịkpọrọ ha, ị ga-enweta ọsịsa maka ihe niile gbasara OCOBI. OCOBI wụ atụmatụ bụ ịgba Shared Prosperity Government nke Distinguished Senator Hope Uzodimma.
OCOBI, ụmụnna wike, ọwụ ha agha.
So welcome back, and thank you to Father Pius and Mr. Clement for a good overview of what they do. So let me move to another panelist, Comrade Kingsley Abagwa. Please say hello to our audience and introduce yourselves. Do you want to unmute yourself, please?
Hello, everybody listening to us on this OCOBI series. My name is Comrade Kingsley Abagwa. Well, I'm a manager at the C-Hub. C-Hub is an organization which is top-notch in business development, educational development, and career development as well, both in private, individual, and corporate. However, I am also a member of the Koyoma Amimo Multi-Purpose Cooperative Society, which came on board at the introduction of OCOBI series from Amimo Ikedu. Thank you.
Okay, that's fine. So do you want to tell us more about your cooperative and what you do?
Okay, our cooperative is a multi-purpose cooperative. What we do is that we have to bring up an awareness of members of our community, both those at home and in diaspora, by telling them they need to gather together, form this cooperative, raise funds, a kind of pool of funds, and look at the businesses that can actually can be profitable potentially. So we'll be looking at micro enterprises, businesses, and small businesses. Our area too will be focusing on rural finance to facilitate accessible finance services to most of these kindred businesses that are coming up, and to also conduct financial literacy workshops to educate communities about prudent money management like we have in mind. We also intend to not just going into the agribusinesses, which we know it is booming now, but we also intend to go into consultancy and see what we can bring from either NGO and the government. Of course, the Okobi series from inception made it very clear to us that it is not dependable or dependent on the government. So we are not parasitic about it, but that doesn't give us room to say if we are doing well, we cannot ask for additional help. At the moment, we also plan to go into what we call venture capital, where we look at startups. Because if you go to mega banks and big banks, they want people in business. They don't want startups. Most of their fears are that a business you want to start up, you don't know the implication. For instance, if you want to float a poultry and you want to put 10 million into it and you are starting up, bank may find it difficult to give you that loan because you've not studied whether influenza or any kind of disease will come in the next 6 months and you begin to have issues with the bank. But because this is a kindred thing, we have to study how it works and how it's going to favor both the impacts, both social and environmental. Now, it also gives us room to create job without much cost in labor mobility. If we create a job in Amimo, say we have piggery or we have fish farming, because a lot of people need protein now. So it means that if you are coming from Umeze, which is a location in Amimo and is located in Obodo, you don't need to go and start renting house, just like we are moving to Lagos because he got a job. You come from your house and save the cost of renting and still do the job. The most important thing is to make sure that our youth leave house every day and go and start doing something. There are various businesses we have identified, but we're looking at our funds and strengthening our laws before we can go into investment proper. This is the area.
Okay, just to put this in context, Comrade Abagwa, the Akuyoma Cooperative, multi-purpose cooperative, is one of those early responses to the Okobi call, to put it that way. Exactly. So you heard about the One Kindred, One Business initiative that the government is promoting. And as a community, you decided to create Akuyoma, right? So it wasn't that it was existing before then. So you responded to that call. Is that correct?
Yes, Prof. It's new. It came as soon as Okobi was launched.
Okay, so we are grateful that Okobi is having some real life impacts and people are responding to it, because there are also those who are very skeptical about whether it will work or not. So we congratulate you for taking up that initiative. I think from what you have said, my understanding is that you are not into a specific business, let's say, for example, farming or poultry or whatever, but in your own case, you are a pool of fund. You gather money from your members who want to invest, and then you use that money to support local businesses in Amimo. Is that correct? Or that's what you want to do?
It is part of what we have to do. And if there are ones that are very viable that we can manage ourselves, we also go into it, depending on the funds available.
Okay. That's very interesting and novel, because what you are saying here, in essence, is that it's another way of bringing finance to support local small businesses, or even what you may call micro or nano businesses. Otherwise, they will be left to the likes of microfinance banks or your commercial banks that cannot afford them. But you're also providing or solving a funding gap, because some of these commercial banks or microfinance banks, they are always reluctant to lend to startups. But in your own case, you can co-invest with these startups. Is that an understanding? Is that a correct understanding?
Exactly. Co-investment is part of what we have in mind. I'll give you two life instances that happened in the past. My father happened to own one of the largest commercial schools in Amimo, but it was run as a sole proprietorship. And part of the disadvantage of sole proprietorship is that if the owner dies, the business dies. So by the time he was running the school, all of us were in school as his children. My dad eventually died, and the school died. If Okobi was existing there, we may have co-invested, and the school would have been more progressive, and the return on investment would be coming. As at the time that school was on, he employed over 20 teachers because they have GS1 A, B to C, D, F, and cleaners and security. Also, we have one man called Ofo Ilumeze who owned one of the biggest farms. He has goats and pig. But I think he also ran it as a sole proprietor. When he died, within the next 6 months, it closed down. So if we are co-invested as we are trying to come up now, we would have sustained it and have equity and have something for ourselves, for shareholders. That is part of the thing Akoyoma Amimo want to achieve.
Yeah. And do you have an idea of how much fund you want to raise initially? Do you have an idea of that?
When we are looking at our numbers, we have a various amount of shares which was stipulated out. But I think the list, when we started, we have what you call a waiting room, where we have about 59 people. But those who have made reasonable commitment now are about 12 or 13. We are still creating awareness. By the time we touch something like 20 million or 25, we can begin something.
Okay. Okay, that's interesting. And there is also a possibility for people abroad in diaspora to contribute to this fund, right? So it's not just solely about people in Nigeria.
Yes, most of our members are in diaspora too, because the awareness is for Amimo, not just home, for home and abroad. And we keep talking to them. We are trying to see if we can have an economic summit where this should be discussed at large so that we can also raise more funds so that everybody will benefit from it.
Okay, so what advice would you give to somebody listening to us now and thinking of doing this in their community?
Well, the best way to develop the community, improve and create jobs is Okobi. There is no two ways. In fact, when I was small, I learned that nearness to raw material helps in industry. The raw materials we are talking about is we that are in the kindred and the finance. So we are not going to Enugu to look for somebody to come here and do it. So when we have these funds, we raise it here. People at home are engaged in one thing or the other. If somebody goes to Snap Farm from morning and stay, a security man is protecting it, a cleaner is sweeping it, and they get something at the end of the day. If we make profit, yes, our own is that we must make profit because investors will want to see ROI. So if we make profit, we look at it and say, so I encourage every community that have not started. I would like they have mentioned alumni. I have a strong alumni which I belong to. This should also be mentioned to them because most of the funds they have, they're looking on where to put it in. If I'm able to convince them, they can also co-invest or start their own. So if it goes round, the 605, these are communities, 605 communities. We're not even talking about kindreds. In Amimo alone, we have several kindreds, which is extended family. Outside the nuclear family, we're talking about extended family. Now, when you talk about bringing business to grassroots, Okobi is the answer. So I advise everybody to keep. We also have to work with the AZEs and the community leaders. That is why when we go to challenges, I'm able to say something about that. Thank you.
Okay, I mean that's fine. So if somebody wants to reach out or contact you or Akoyoma, what are the means or ways of reaching out to you?
Well, if anybody gets to me, I will get to our coordinators and interim management, because I am also an active member in it. So if I drop my number, anybody reaching it, just have
I think that's fine. So you can give your number, and then anyone who wants to follow up can reach you on that number. Do you want to give the number?
Yeah, my number is 080 340 73228. I repeat, 080 340 73228.
Okay, brilliant. So thanks for that. And if you are joining us, this is the One Kindred, One Business initiative from the Office of the Chief Economic Advisor to the Imo State Government under the leadership of Senator Hope Uzodimma. So thank you, Comrade, for talking to us about the Akoyoma multi-purpose from Amimo Ikeduru. So let me move over to Jovita Agu now. Jovita, what do you think? Maybe you want to unmute yourself, right? What do you think about what you've had so far. Maybe greet our audience and then tell us what you do.
Okay, thank you so much, Prof. This is another exciting edition. So my name is Jovita Agu. I'm the technical advisor in the office of the Chief Economic Advisor. So, and this OCOBI is part of my core responsibilities in the office. So all our interesting panelists have said, they've said it all actually regarding their businesses, and I'm very excited that they are taking this OCOBI seriously. And you can imagine how much the class of 92 has done, and they are still doing more. So, and then the Akuyoma of Amimo is, I mean, they've done quite a lot. They actually, like our first, the first group that got registered immediately, the OCOBI was launched. And that was, I think, within 2 weeks of, introducing OCOBI. And for the priest of Ahira Diocese, Father Pius, who've been talking, and what they are doing is very similar to OCOBI. So we're quite excited to, have to discuss this with him, and then we have quite a lot to do together in a short time to come. But, we can't bring in all our panelists or all the people that are doing, OCOBI and taking the message seriously. So for now, these are the people we wanted to discuss with today. And this OCOBI One Kindred One Business, we're actually, driving it and pushing and encouraging our people to make sure they, key into it as much as possible. And a lot of people are really taking advantage of it. And I would like to also reiterate that this OCOBI is, for people that want to do more than what they are getting, even those that are earning salaries and those that don't have anything doing. So we want our people to be economically empowered. And OCOBI is mainly targeted at people who would have businesses registered and who intend to make profit out of it. And it has to be group-owned. We encourage group-owned businesses. Like Kingsley has given us 1 or 2 examples of, sole proprietorship business and what, came out of it after the owners of the businesses passed. And then we want these businesses to be domiciled in Imo State, even though we have a lot of our people who are in diaspora and who are living outside of the state who are also investing. So the business, we want it to be domiciled in Imo State so that it can create employment for our people. That employment factor is very key for our people to be employed so that it curbs the problems of insecurity, problems of lack of jobs, underemployment and unemployment. So this is our focus for now. And this OCOBI, want to create as much as, that's a huge target, but that's what we're targeting, 5,000 businesses, new businesses in this coming year, 2024. So for people that are not sure, they should try and get across to us. They should ask questions, call. I'm going to give my number, right after, so that people can call me, people can, go to direct them in the, and very importantly, we have a summit coming in the month of December on the 13th, specifically in Owerri. So we want our people to indicate interest, come and join us at the summit so that they will hear and know a lot more about OCOBI and how to get started and how to join us. Okay, so I can give my number, right? Or have any question?
No, before you do that, I mean, tell us more about the summit. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, the summit is targeted at our prospects, those that are interested. We want them to come and listen and know more about OCOBI, meet us face to face, ask questions, and every information they need to know about OCOBI, they will have all of the answers provided to them right there on the spot. And then we want to have, also have our financial partners. We have some banks that we're bringing in, so they will come and tell us how they can support businesses. what they have to, maybe in terms of financial literacy, all of the support that the banks will give us, and the people can also ask them questions. And we'll also bring consultants, very importantly, people that are already established in different businesses. They will come there and tell us about their businesses, how it's going, how they can help the people, in what ways they can help the people set up their businesses, because I know that some people might not be sure of what business to go into. So that will be an opportunity for them to hear from the consultants and see what value they stand to gain from them and advice on the kind of business. And then those that already have their businesses will be showcased, those that are producing maybe livestock, processing and all of that. So there will be an opportunity for them to showcase their brands, their businesses, so people can see what the small businesses that are existing in Imo State are already producing. And then we'll also have some government agencies we're going to partner with. We have SMIDAN and then Nigerian Export Promotion Council. They will also be there. And then we also have government appointees that their jobs are related to Okobi. They will also be there to give their own support and encouragement. We also have some corporate companies that we're doing business with, and we believe some of them can give us access to grants, soft loans, trainings, and any other thing. So they will also be there to tell us what they will do to support these small businesses we're encouraging to spring up in Imo State. So it's going to be that and a whole lot more on the 13th of December. So the invite will soon be out. It will be on radio, it will be on our social media handles. So we encourage our people to look out for them and then try to register and be a part of the program. It's going to be a life-changing experience on that day, 13th of December.
Okay, that's good to know. And sometimes when you talk to some of these businesses or people who hear Okobi for the first time, they also ask for incentives. Why should we do this? Are there supports from the government, from other, say, international organizations? So what is your experience, or what do you hear some of these international bodies or grant-making bodies say about this idea?
Okay, yeah, some of the people we're talking to have different different levels of support they can give us. Some can actually, some of them we've spoken to. Of course, this is the end of the year. So from next year, we are getting very positive reports and remarks from them that they have empowerment programs. But we're not going to say, oh, let us wait for that arms and watch these organizations give money. Most of them are going to support existing businesses. That is why it is very important for us to get started. If the business, there are criteria. They don't come and say, oh, everybody line up and give us your account numbers, let's pay money. No, it doesn't happen. So you're going to have a registered business. That's why I mentioned that in the beginning. So if the business is registered, then our people will have access to this. These grants that they will give. So you don't just get the money without your company being registered. So once it's registered, then you're going to receive grants. I mean, I'm not making that promise, but this is a promise of our partners. So that is what I'm extending to the public. So let them know that we have chances of receiving, grants and very soft loans from people. So there are also those that might not give us the money directly, but they promise to support us in accessing these grants from international agencies that they are working with. So, and some of our people actually ask if we are giving them money. No, the office is not giving them money, but we're going to direct them, in the right direction. We're going to, handhold them and take them to where they will get as much support as is needed or are needed for their businesses to thrive. So we encourage us to do the much we can, look inwards in our communities. Some of our people can help, like Akuyoma, what they're doing. They're actually looking inwards, getting money from them, raising money from among themselves, and also trying to reach out to, people within their communities who can support. That is also why we're trying to talk to the, our traditional rulers, the, president generals of our various communities, so that these people can work with us and make sure that we try to raise as much money as we can. We don't need to start much. Some of these businesses, from my experience and encounter with these business owners, with as little as 300, 500,000, you can start a business that will give you profit. So in any case, we don't encourage people to start big. So as at the learning stage, you start small and gradually it grows, and then you can invest more and then get more support from other companies and organizations, or even raise more money from within. So people ask if we are giving money. No, we are not giving money, but we're going to handhold you and give you as much support as we can to make sure that your business thrives. And very importantly, we're also trying to come up with kind of a product catalog for possible businesses people can do within Okobi. That is what we're compiling at the moment. So we're hoping that it will be ready before the day we'll have the summit, so you can have that booklet, which will give you the kind of businesses you need to go into, give you an idea of the amount it will take to set up business, at least at the preliminary level. And also the contact details of those consultants who will help you will be there. So that will be a way to sort of direct you to people you can talk to that will help you to set up your business and make sure you are protected from having a lot of challenges at the beginning.
Okay, great. Thank you very much. Do you want to leave your number then? In case
yes, I want to leave my. I know the calls will start coming, but it's okay. So my number is 0911 4360 076. 0911 4360 076. Thank you.
Okay, great. I think a good way to summarize what you've said is that there are opportunities, and these opportunities would be for people who are prepared. So all we are trying to do is to prepare the Okobi businesses to be ready when the time comes. And we've come across many international development agencies that are keen to work with these Okobi businesses. But as you know, we need to first of all put our house in order to attract these funds. And some of them might also be interested in matched funding, because one thing is to say we want to do this, and if you say there is government money, as typical, you may find people line up, especially politicians, sorry to say that, and they line up with all fictitious companies because they're interested in the idea of the national cake. But what we're finding out is that some of these organizations like to work with people who have also put in their own resources. So it could be match funding. Say, for example, if you are into a business that requires 5 or 10 million naira, the funders may want you to bring 40% of that or 50% of that, and they can match it. And it's free money. So you bring 5 million naira to attract another 5 million naira. I mean, it's a very good opportunity for us. So that's why we are encouraging different communities to take advantage of this. We are thinking about churches, parishes, town unions, old boys associations, old girls associations. The Okobi business is literally for everyone that wants to participate in it. So I don't know if there are any questions from online. So you can also follow us on our social handles on Facebook, Twitter, or X, as it is called now, LinkedIn as well, to get more information. We are also on WhatsApp. I'm just wondering, do we have any questions from online? Okay, so let me just in a minute or so ask Father, what sort of challenges do you see here? I mean, what can we do to overcome those challenges as well? Do you foresee any challenge that may stop people from embracing this idea based on your experience? Father Pius, yes.
Hello.
Hello, yeah.
Yeah, with you, sir.
I said, do you foresee
you're asking about challenges? Are you talking about relationship with Okobi or just Matter Farm project?
Generally, from your experience, even in terms of agriculture, yeah.
Okay, in fact, what I see as the most challenging thing in this project we are into is getting people interested in what we are doing. I think from the very moment I started, that was in 2020, my intention was to carry the youths along. And I've been trying to do that from that very moment till now. It has not really been easy. Getting the young people, especially the male ones, getting them interested in the farm business has not really been easy. So that's one of the challenges. Then the other one is laying our hands on some machines that could ease the stress in farm business. It has not really been easy. We are into crop production. So doing all that manually has not really been easy. And sometimes when you go about looking for where you can be able to hire tractors, it has not really been easy. Even going to the different ADP offices in the local governments. So many of the local governments will tell you they have no tractor, they have no bulldozer for this or for that. So, but doing the work manually is really not easy. And that is one of the things that is making the youths afraid of going into farm business. They will tell you it's very stressful, and really it is. But with the help of all these machines, even if you can get the mini ones that are handy, that one can just use. Of course, within here, especially here in my locality in Mbise, people don't have that a big hectare of land, maybe a hectare or two, where they can employ the services of a big tractor, but at least they have lands in plots, 2 plots, 3, 4, 5. If the government can make it available for them, going about leasing or providing maybe each community or even the local government where they can go hire these mini tractors, to help them around, I think that would be very wonderful. Of course, people always mention finance, but I don't really see finance as a major problem. If all of us should get involved and think about how to move the agribusiness, finance won't really be a major problem in that.
Okay, fantastic. I think
this is out of me.
Yeah, the point you raised about the farmland, I think that's well made. People can also pool their lands together, especially when they are near each other. And the point you also made about farm machinery or equipment is also something. It can also be a business opportunity for someone, because what you are saying here is that you need this thing, but you also need the market to provide it. Government can support, of course, but it's also an opportunity for entrepreneurs to feel. Clement, do you have a minute now?
Yes,
do you want
yes.
to reflect on some of these opportunities, but just quickly, because we are running out of time?
I just said now about agricultural equipment. So further, maybe we can talk about that, because at the moment we have some of the equipment that we can be able to lease to you. So
okay, so that's another way. Yeah, you can provide that service and he pays you for it, so, which is good.
Yes.
Okay, there's no problem.
Yes. So
remember to give us the 10% out of that. Right?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, Clement, we have to stop here because the radio station will kick us out. So this leaves me an opportunity to thank all the panelists, Mr. Clement Nwachukwu, Comrade Kingsley Abagwa, Father Pius Anyanwu, and Mrs. Jovita Agwo. I also thank my team, Adeza Shaheme and Adeza Waka, for always supporting this initiative. So thank you all for coming and listening to us. And that leaves me with the opportunity again to share our clip with you to show you what this Okobi initiative is all about. So once again, thank you.
Thank you, Kobe.
Thank you.
Suzy, nne m ahụ gị bụ sọ mma. Ọ dị ka ị nwetala ọrụ n'oil company.
Yusi nwanne m, mgbado udo o nweghịkwa ọrụ oil company m nwetara. Ihe hụrụ m na-amụke wụkwa aka ọrụ Okobi.
Ele nke wụkwa Okobi. Biko tupu enye m azụ, ahụchiele m anya. Ahụ m chọrọ enyemaka.
Ya bụ na ịnụbeghị maka Okobi. Ngwa gee ntị. Okobi wa atụmatụ ọma gọọmenti hiwere iji kpochapụ ụbịam na-akpụ ndị mmadụ isi aghara aghara. Okobi ga-ekewapụta ohere ọrụ maka gị maka ọha obodo gị niile. Naanị legharịa anya gburugburu gị, chepụta nnọọ ihe ọbụla gị na ụmụnne na ụmụnna gị, ndị enyi ma ọ bụ ndị obodo gị nwere ike ịgbakọta aka mepụta ya mma, dịka ịzụ ọkụkọ, azụ, oke bekee, ịkọ painiapụl, ịsụ mmanụ nkwụ ma ọ bụ mmanụ aṅụ na ọtụtụ ihe ndị ọzọ dị iche iche. Unu hazicha usoro eji eme ya ka ọ bụrụ ihe ga-amịpụta ego. Unu agbapụzie ya ọsọ gaa kpọtụrụ onye ji ọkwa Chief Economic Advisor n'ọchịchị steeti Imo. Ọ ga-agbazi unu olu, nye unu ntụziaka, hazie ụkpụrụ a ga-eji mee ya ka ọ kwụsị ike ma mịta ezi mkpụrụ. Ọ ga-enyekwa aka n'ikewapụta ohere ọrụ n'obodo.
Biko nye m akara ekwentị ha ka m kpọọ ha ozugbo.
Ngwa were ihe dedata ya 0701-351-2035 0701-351-2035 maọbụ 0911-436-0076 0911-436-0076 ịkpọrọ ha ị ga-enweta ọsịsa maka ihe niile gbasara oke obi. Oke obi wa atụmatụ bụ ịgba Shared Prosperity Government nke Distinguished Senator Hope Uzodimma.
Oke obi ụmụnna wike ọwụ ha agha.